one of the days we were out tracting, and my mission didn't really tract. We did a lot of member work and referrals and things like that, or straight contacting. And so knocking on doors wasn't really a thing. But every once in a while we would do it just to kind of burn time between appointments, or if we didn't have time to drive somewhere, or if we were low on miles, which was an ever-present problem. But one of the days we were in an area and just felt prompted to knock for about 20 minutes. We had about 20 minutes to burn. And so we walked up to the street, and I felt very strongly that we needed to knock on a particular house. And so not really thinking too much of it, we go and we knock on the door. And this man, who is probably in his early 60s, late 50s, a short kind of little bearded man, he answers the door, and he just goes, "Oh, hey," and then walks away from his door into his house, leaving the door open. And like, he wanted us to come in. We weren't really sure. And I looked at my companion and I was like, what do we do? Because we didn't know if there was a woman in the house or if anybody was in the house except for him. And she was like, "I think the Spirit says yes." And I was like, "I think the Spirit says yes." So we just walked in, and he seemed really nice and friendly. And we were talking to him, and his wife comes down the stairs. And it ended up that they had been investigating 15 years before, or he had been investigating 15 years before, and that she had gotten baptized in the 70s and had become inactive about 6 years after she was baptized. And the church had absolutely no record of them. And we just didn't have any idea. She had been lost for 30 years. And it was just amazing, because we ended up teaching him, and he actually had thought he'd been baptized, but he had been baptized into the reorganized church when he was a kid. And so for a long time he was like, I've been baptized. And the church didn't have any record of him. We were like, "We don't have your membership records. There's no record that you've been baptized, which means you need to get baptized again." And he was like, "No, if I've already been baptized once, I don't need it again," kind of thing. And then finally I had been transferred out of the area, but the next set of missionaries figured out that he had been baptized into the reorganized church. And like 2 weeks after they found out that he had been baptized in the reorganized church, he accepted a baptismal date, and I was able to attend his baptism. So it was just one of those, like, what are the odds that we would run into them? Mormons make the best stalkers, kind of thing. Like, we can find anybody, and it ended up being a really kind of an amazing circumstance.